All right, let's have a conversation. The Cleveland Browns made a ton of moves, but not any big trades. And the only one they made is one that's arguably not good because I record on both sides of this. As you know, we have another channel, Sports Talk Detroit, where we got the Lions. You see the lion in the background, but we've also been loyal to the Brownies, and we've been recording and reporting on them like crazy this year. And so when it's something like this, I made one on Sports Talk Detroit. You can go check it out. I was very excited on that. But then we have this trade on the Cleveland side, and I'm not as excited for you guys. And I understand that like maybe he just wasn't working out there and it was a time for a change of scenery. But my hope is that you could have gotten more. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the other moves that were made. But first, like it, subscribe, and leave a comment. And the comment can look something like, are you happy with a 2025 sixth round pick in return for Donovan Peoples-Jones? Look, it's simple. He was a wide receiver that had one pretty good year. Okay, he had a pretty good year. Everybody thought this year was going to only elevate it further. I think a lot of people are thinking 1,000-yard season. A lot of people are drafting him in fantasy football, and it has not turned out that way for him this year. What has he got? 9 catches? Yeah, 8 catches for 97 yards. That's what it is. He's just not producing. Is it simply the quarterback? I don't know. But either way, it doesn't help his trade value. So the question is it even worth trading him? Like, would you rather have a 2025 sixth round pick, or would you rather have Donovan Peoples-Jones re-sign him and keep depth at your wide receiver position and a punt returner? I don't know. That's just my thought. So, anyways, let's look at that one first. So, here's what you're letting go. You're letting go a guy who had an RAS score coming out of college. Go Wolverines. Like me, hate me. I'm so sorry. Of 9.63. He is a good deep ball catcher, and he can do some other things as well, including what we talked about with returning punts. That is what you're losing. What you're getting back is a sixth round pick. He was a sixth round pick, by the way. So, I mean, technically, what you're doing is you're trading away a sixth round pick that's about to be done with his contract. This is the last year of his contract. And you're getting a sixth round pick that will be a brand new contract starting very soon. So, I'm not the only one who thinks this wasn't a lot. On Dogs by Nature, it says this: the Cleveland Browns have finally made a move at the NFL trade deadline, but it is not a move that will help the team or make the fan base happy. Are you happy with this move? Maybe you feel differently. All right. Um, and then it talks about what you've seen and all that kind of stuff. And then it says this: the Browns have traded their starting wide receiver for a sixth round pick, not in this year's draft, but next year's. That's, I think, all you kind of have to know. This is a guy who has flashed. This is a guy who has shown I can get you close to 1,000 yards with Jacoby Brissett. I think the reason he's not going well right now is because the quarterback play has been bad this year. Like Elijah Moore, everybody's like, oh, he's good. We all see the potential. He hasn't gone nuts. The only player who's continued to produce is Amari Cooper, because Amari Cooper is going to produce wherever Amari Cooper is. It's just the way he is. All right, so that's the first part of this is the Donovan Peoples-Jones trade. It doesn't seem like a move that a contender makes, which is weird. And then maybe there's something we don't know about Deshaun Watson and when he's going to be ready. That's about the only way I can kind of read into this. All right, but those aren't the only moves, and I'm going to pull up some of the other ones here. They made 6 changes to their practice squad on Tuesday, and some of these things can be kind of crazy. And this is even before the trade, but I clearly knew what was coming. So they signed running back Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake had a good, decent year in Miami, and an okay year, a couple in Arizona, but that's about it. I don't understand why you keep bringing in running backs when you have running backs. Ford and Hunt are good. Those are your 2 best players, period. Ford and Hunt are good. And so, and you got more coming back next year. Most likely you get Chubb back. They also signed wide receiver James Prochet and an O lineman, Jaron Christian. That's not terrible. They released running back Nate McCrary. I don't love that. I used to teach at the high school that he went to. So dang it. All right. Everybody stop releasing him. Keep him around. All right. They released Jordan Wilkins. and they place another person on the injured list. That doesn't change much. Um, this is all kind of small potatoes. Can we agree on that? Can we agree that none of these are going to move the needle extremely, um, or anything like that? So the biggest news to report on is that they traded away a starting caliber wide receiver. Maybe he wasn't playing at a starting caliber thing, but and then go from there. Here's the thing that I find to be interesting, on our actual website. This is kind of interesting. On our version of Dogs by Nature, which is called Pride of Detroit, here's what one of your beat writers had to say. He said DPJ has been a breakout waiting to happen since OBJ called him something similar. Last year, Jacoby Brissett threw a beautiful deep ball, and it was really focusing on throwing passes only to receivers who were running their best routes. Amari Cooper and Peoples-Jones were the only wide receivers to have more than 24 catches and 35 targets. So the ball was also forced his way a little bit last year. He caught a lot more than deep routes, though, because he only averaged 13.2 or 13.4 yards per catch. All right. This year, quarterback play has been terrible with a lack of touch on deep balls very evident. Completely agree. So it's not best for what he's doing, but Cooper's finding ways to come down with him, things like that. It's very, very interesting. Here's what you're losing, because here's what he told us. For all the exciting size, speed, and combination, DPJ is an outside receiver who is probably going to catch most of his balls on go routes or on deep ends near the middle of the field. Detroit might unlock his punt return skills with a few screens as well. So basically, they're saying he's not a guy who has the full route tree. He doesn't have the full command of the route tree. So let me know what your thoughts are. What are you feeling with a winning record right now and trading away what can be valuable pieces? Let me know what you think. And thank you so much for watching the video, and we'll see you on the next one.